Hello everybody and welcome back to another installation of And She Rants. Today I'm starting a new series and that's Tech Tips with Tunji. Tunji is me, that's my last name is Olatunji, so just follow along. There are a lot of names happening here and we're kind of going to get our branding together later. I wanted to talk about something that's really important to me and it's a piece of advice, and that piece of advice is get out your own way. Get out of your own way. Sometimes you think there's so much against you in moving forward in your career, and getting new opportunities and getting a promotion. And what I've noticed is that a lot of the time, the thing that's really stopping us from progressing is ourselves. Like, you are in your own way. And I think that this is really common. I think it happens outside of just our jobs, but there are just three things that I've figured out for me that I had to stop doing so that I wouldn't be in my own way of succeeding. The first thing you need to do to get out your own way is stop disqualifying yourself from opportunities. Let me say that one again. Stop disqualifying yourself from opportunities. So you see a job description online. You're perusing, you're like, this sounds amazing. And I have just the experience to do it. Ooh, you're looking for this. I love these kinds of opportunities. And boop, boop, you see that one line, 3 to 5 years of experience. And you're like, you know what? I only have 2.5 years. Like, I'll come back next time. Like, I'll come back to apply another year. Let me tell you something, sis, or bro, whoever is listening. I promise you that you have a counterpart that is not concerned about the half a year of experience that they haven't had because they know they can do an amazing job. You have to think of yourself as qualified. Now, don't get crazy with it. I'm not asking you to go and apply for jobs that ask for 10 years of experience when you have one. That's kind of wild. But you need to look at that full job description. What do they want you to deliver on? Can you deliver on that? Can you deliver on that? Do you have different experiences outside of your job? Maybe internships, maybe you've worked like part-time elsewhere. What are your other experiences that can contribute and kind of fill that gap of qualifications that they're looking for? Do not disqualify yourself simply by reading, I don't have 3 years. Cool, 5 years. They probably really want 5 years. Let me just get out of here. Stop that, Tin. Stop it, okay? You don't know what opportunity is waiting for you. Something that I saw once was somebody's tweet somewhere where they were talking about they saw a job description. They were asking for like 10 to 12 years of like Swift experience. And they were like, Swift hasn't even been around for that long. Sometimes the people who are hiring for a role are not actually doing the job or making the job description. So don't disqualify yourself just by seeing one thing that you don't have. Oh, you have 7 of the 8 qualities they're looking for. You have 7 of the 10 even. You don't know what else you can do to contribute. Like, don't count yourself out. The second thing you need to do to get out your way is ask more questions. Let me tell you a story. Okay, so I had a project that I was working on, and it was my first time really owning like something big. I was like, I'm gonna own this big project. I'm moving from just like an individual contributor who's just executing to working on things that are making impact. And I was in leading the meeting and talking about this is what we've done, what I've done so far, and this is this and this is that. And there was someone in that meeting who had actually done something very similar previously on another platform. And we had kind of talked, but I was like, I'm going to show you that I can do this thing and y'all are going to see, and I'm just going to succeed and just impress you all. And there were some gaps. There were some gaps that I hadn't been aware of. And I think because I was just starting out on taking on these large projects and making impact, I wanted to really prove myself. And I realized very quickly, there was something that happened where someone basically took over a responsibility, and it was, I didn't know why actually. I was gonna say, and it was because blah blah blah. I found out later, but initially I didn't know why they had come in to take over some responsibility, just part of the overall project. I'm saying like this is a really big project and just part of it, like in owning the execution. And I was in my feelings, inside of my feelings. And I'm just wondering all these things. And then I have a really awesome mentor in engineering. And we talk every couple of weeks. And we were meeting and I was telling him about this and how I was like kind of feeling way, and I just want to make sure people know like I can do this and I know I can do this and I'm confident in it and I got this. And he was like, why do you think this other person took it over? And I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping it's not this, I'm hoping it's not that. And he was like, did you ask why? And I just looked like, no. He's like, so if you don't ask why, you're just gonna sit there filling your head with ideas of what's going on instead of just getting that answer. And that was like a really big light bulb for me, starting to move into a new part of my career. And it was a huge learning moment. You have to ask questions. Otherwise, you'll just be wondering about why certain things are happening. And there are resources at your fingertips. Someone may give you an opportunity simply because you asked for it. Someone may give you more people to work on your team simply because you asked for it. You're underwater and you haven't asked for help. Ask for help, okay? You're working on a project, you don't know why something is changing. Ask why. Ask. Otherwise, you will get in your own way, filling your head with stories, worrying about things, taking on too much work, not being able to execute, unable to find the answer to questions when people have already done the work. Like, you don't need to repeat cycles. That's why other people have expertise, and that's why they're there. Let's get out your way and ask questions. The third thing you need to do to get out your own way is don't worry about things that don't concern you. In other words, mind your business, okay? Mind your business, that's all. Just mind your business. If you try to take on concerns about what's going on up here when what you're doing is over here, you are gonna be pressed and stressed. If it doesn't concern you, keep pushing and doing the work. Maybe you ask a couple questions, how can I help? But if you don't need to be involved in it, don't. Because there are some things that you're not involved in because you're not ready to be. That's just a fact. There are some things that maybe like leadership is involved in and you're wondering about that. You may not have to. And when the time is right, they'll share the necessary information with you and the rest of your team. That's just how it works. But if you stay sticking your nose into business that doesn't concern you, it's one, you're like kind of being a gossip for no reason. And you don't need to be a gossip at work. And the other thing is, you will stress yourself out about stuff you don't have the capacity to fix when no one asked you to fix it. Okay? Oh, this is actually a word for me in other parts of my life. Let me remember that. Let me mind my business, okay, in all aspects of things and not be stressing about things that don't concern me. Just do not worry about being responsible for anything that you don't have the capacity to handle. And that's what leadership is there for, and they're aware of that. When your time comes, you will be able to handle that thing, and you will be in the room where you can contribute. I'm not saying don't fight for the opportunity to contribute and be responsible for things that you can take on. I'm saying do not fight for responsibility to contribute to things that you can't take on. If you know you can't take it on, move it. Move, okay? Move. And I think that's something we don't realize is like sometimes we get in over our head because we just want to handle so much. We just want to be in the know. We hear rumors, we hear the gossip, and we just want to, oh, what's that about? And why are we making these decisions? And blah, blah, blah. Don't worry, because it's not your business, okay? And the people who are supposed to take care of it will take care of it. Okay, sis? Okay? So just mind your business. That's all. Just mind your business. Okay, those are just 3 things I think we can all do to be mindful of how we behave and ensuring that we're not getting in our own way of progressing in our career trajectory. If you agree, disagree, please let me know in the comments below. I'm assuming that I uploaded this to YouTube. If you're on my blog, please comment, interact with me on Instagram, anywhere that you are. I want to hear from you, and share if you like it.